Good afternoon, everyone. Winter storm's going to center itself over D.C. tomorrow. A foot of snow, a couple inches of ice. Nobody's going to be able to get into the offices. We're coming into the power outages, so let's see where you sit in the mix. And if you notice the shape of the storm, how it was a forecast moving from Saturday, it's definitely swollen to be a colossal winter storm penetrating the atmosphere over Washington, D.C. Hazardous travel. Nobody's going in the office in these conditions, and when the salt trucks and plows are sliding off the road, we know this is something major. So as we look at D.C., and tomorrow's a very important day, nobody's going in the offices. Look at this. At least a foot of snow, possibly more depending on the banding of where it's going to drop. And also the ice that's going to accumulate with this. So it seems like everything is centering over D.C., ice accumulations. And if you're going east of Roanoke, and that is just dangerous travel, anywhere that you're looking at those colors, and especially the blue band, that is power lines down, high voltage cable, high tension tower, power towers down. And it is beginning. So what we see, winter storm warning, this takes us all the way through Tuesday the 7th. As I say, very few, if any, will be in offices tomorrow. So we'll see how that will be handled as days move forward. And an easy to read graphic for you here where the low is moving over, centered over D.C. Again, large swaths, disrupting a lot of supply chain. So expect delays into your supermarkets after this finishes. There's an enormous amount of cleanup, and you're going to watch things disappear off the store shelves. And this graph here coming off Monarch Weather, anything in the pinks and very light purples, nothing's traveling there. Even if you do salt on the roads, I mean, the depths that are accumulating so fast in blizzard conditions overwhelm what we can do with chemical treatment. Magnesium sulfate, straight up salt, or whatever they're putting brine-wise on the roads. And your percent chance of 4 inches snowfall or more, that 100% is quite the line stretching through the United States here. Right from the Midwest completely to the East Coast. And everywhere in between here is also receiving ice. So the power grid moving from north to south is already starting to be disrupted. So we'll come into that in just a second here. But the pivotal weather, putting this one out, National Weather Service, current hazards. And again, the ice storm warnings, blizzard warnings, it just continues. Flood warnings, and it's a mix-up and hodgepodge moving through. A lot of disruption here. Green is where you do not want to be. The images and stories coming out of this area, well, it is a winter wonderland, and icicles are falling. People are reporting huge amounts of very heavy ice raining down. That's today and tomorrow, but as we move out to, say, the 12th and 13th, when the record cold is going to be sweeping down from Canada all the way to the southeast U.S. to the Gulf Coast, even in Florida getting around, 18 degrees Fahrenheit in the Panhandle. We're going to get this nor'easter, massive amount of snow. Massachusetts looks like the center point of it. If you head a little bit south, you come into New York City. So this will be a big one here, Vermont. Now that Trump will return to the White House, it's time to consider your retirement and portfolio. The Wall Street Journal said gold will outperform stocks in 2025. Since 2022, gold has surged 40% after the U.S. seized Russia's assets. That was a wake-up call for central banks around the globe to diversify their reserves away from the dollar and into gold. At the same time, Goldman Sachs said Trump's presidency will light a fire under gold, pushing it to $3,150 an ounce. Call the proud Americans of the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. And the Patriot Gold Group has the No Fee for Life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold or silver. No Fee for Life IRA on qualifying rollovers. Give them a call, 888-546-7020 for your free investor guide today. And it will be a nor'easter swinging. It'll be a mix of ice on, snow on, pellet on. It's going to swing through so many types of precipitation. It's going to layer. Now it's a little more difficult animal to deal with instead of just straight snow or straight ice. Swinging you over to freezing rain now rolling through Texas. And you knew this was going to be something interesting. Tornadoes spawning out of this front heading east through Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. We're already getting power outages, and you'll see where the main areas of the ice storms are. Starting to go through Kansas, Missouri, going to be cruising over to Illinois, Indiana, that whole thing, Virginia, and now Texas starting to go offline here. And one interesting thing, I had put these links for you below in the last several videos I've done. You can see the generation demand versus power output. And once you reach a certain overflow, you knew they were going to start blacking people out. What's interesting, ERCOT is completely offline for data right now. I've gone back several times since the last 6 hours looking for this information, and it just keeps loading. Nothing comes up. So that's a distant early warning for you. And as the very beginning of the morning began, we started to see power outages in Kansas also, which have now disappeared. North Carolina somehow got power back also rerouted because I think they're trying not to spook people, because this is really going to be an event if grids go down. But Miso, that was the map I was showing you, that red danger area. Even on normal consumption patterns, they were having trouble delivering. And here we are, they're down 27,000 megawatts on the outages so far. Green, orange, blue. And that black was planned outages. Those numbers just don't match, even with simple math. And Dominion Energy coming out, I'm getting some reports of people receiving text messages telling them to get ready for blackouts and rolling brownouts. So where's the red dot? That red dot cluster is right over that same D.C. area. Again, we come into the 6th, which is a very important day for our country. Moving forward here on transitions. But we start to see that. I'm not sure who's going in the office. This will definitely be delayed. So the things to take note of. The ice is going to continue, and it's going to intensify. Yesterday was a warm-up. Now today and tomorrow is where the real intensity comes in. So if you're looking at it, go, well, nothing happened yet. Please, choose your words carefully. We've just begun in this storm. Now, after this storm finishes, the precipitation part of it, that's the Gulf moisture slamming against this really cold Arctic air, and that's why you're getting this specific line of rain out, which is rare with all of this in together. But after this passes, we are going to get the sub-zero temperatures rolling down all the way to the Gulf Coast. Now, this is going to put record draw on the electrical grid. And there's already going to be multiple power outages due to the ice and different, events here with snow. You start to add that up, and also remember, an enormous amount of transmission lines from North Carolina all the way straight south through into Georgia never got repaired after Hurricane Helene, which also, steps us back a few in terms of how we can reroute power or deliver it to others. So this is going to be a multi-week event here. And then on the 19th, 17th and 19th, we're going to get another Arctic blast. So the 13th, then that'll start to clear out. It'll get warm a little bit, and then bam, we're going to get another one. So it's a 3-wave pulse of this entire event here. Remember, the mainstream media only goes day by day, drudgingly, here it is. They only give people like a day of warning. And I was so surprised the warnings had been out for 5 or 6 days of this storm coming, and I'm looking at these videos of people lined up in supermarkets like, didn't you hear? What took so long to get ready? Standing 2 hours in a supermarket to pay for stuff. Stores are empty, nothing left in there for bread, milk, all the necessities, butter, anything. And people are complaining that their stores are sold out. Well, yeah, get there early. And when I say that, look at what she has in the cart, and then look behind on the shelves, all those kind of tins. These are the types of things you want to stock up. You don't want to get microwave food. You want to get things that you can boil. You can still use wood to cook and boil water with heat by making a fire. Macaroni, you got the coffee there, you got a few Schweppes things in glass bottles, nice call. And all these different, what you consider like frontier foods. Except for the Suzy Q's. I don't even know if that company still makes those or not. You got some Bisquick for the pancakes in there. You got some rice. But then all those tins behind, also the canned fish. That's what you want to shop for grid down. You don't want to be shopping for microwave foods where you get one meal and out. You need to prepare and start to learn to cook differently. And I know y'all are tired of the cold, so I'm going to bring you down to some sunset flamingos. I want to make you feel good as we get out of here. So please prepare yourself. This is just the beginning of several waves of these storms. And please remember, if you did store up and you have a chance to help your neighbors, please do. This is not a life-altering end of, whatever civilization event. This is going to be painful for many weeks. It's a great time to bring communities together. And also, if those who didn't get prepared and you have extra, bring them in the fold. Show them maybe some, you don't have to, sec ops, of course, you don't have to show them everything, but show them that you got the dried goods, you got some flours, you got these other things, you got the pastas and different things in jars, you got the oats or whatever, the grits, and there's just we got the dried beans, there's all kind of things. Show them that this stored food in a dry fashion, you can keep that without refrigeration, and the 16 ways from Sunday to prepare it. It's a great time for those who were unprepared to share your knowledge to get them prepared, because then the next time, if they are prepared, they're not a liability and they're in your circle there of prepared people. That made things way easier moving forward. This is going to shake and wake a lot of people up, and they're going to 2025 and I can't believe the grid went down. 2025 and I can't believe I'm freezing in my home. So if you have extra share, you're going to be able to get it back. This is not a full forever down situation. So that's my advice. I know people that have been warned and don't take the warning seriously, and then they're the ones come begging because they didn't get ready because, I didn't think it would happen like this. Yeah, I'm with you on that whole thing. At that point, you're like, should I, shouldn't I? But again, you're going to know your neighbors better about their personalities. Could they change? That's the whole key, because you're already going to know them. If you got that hard-headed person will never change in a million years, don't waste your time. But if you have somebody who's sort of on the fence, they could, maybe not, they've been asking questions, for sure bring them in the fold, because there are going to be more of these storms, and it's just going to get crazier and more intense as we move forward from here. Until next time, thanks for watching. Please remember to join us on x.com. Civilization Cycle, where we're putting up small snippets so you can keep up with the changes, and also, not this storm, but in the future. It's too late for you now. But My Patriot Supply and Adapt 2030, the 4-week food kit, that link's in the description box below, plus all the energy providers, links, and stories so you can follow this in real time. All that's in the description box below. See you next time. Bye for now.